or I did something. They called me from Kazakhstan, Samir, he called me from Kazakhstan. He asked me in 20, there's some people, they come to Kazakhstan to meet me on Lebanon from Dualbayev office. I told them, okay, but what they need? And they need to sit with you and to speak with you and to give you something you can help for this. I told them, okay. In 20, I went to Lebanon. They called me from Lebanese, telephone. It was Mr. Kanat, the assistant of Mr. Dualbayev. He asked me that at 7 o'clock he wants to meet me in Bristol Hotel. It was in Beirut, this hotel. I went.
Когда это было?
In 22 of December, before New Year. I went there, It was Mr. Kanat alone, but I found outside, the car of ambassador, We sit in lobby, and he start to, the same question. I told him, Mr. Kanat, I went there. I met Mr. Dualbayev in Beirut before, and I went to you to Kazakhstan. And just you come here, you ask me the same question. Tell me exactly what you want. And for what I will make it for you. What I will have. He said, this case, it's a special case for the president. It's a private. I told him, I know. This I know, Mr. Rakhat is husband of the daughter of the president, and this problem between the family. So what's my problem? And what is this problem that between the family that they want to know about the account, about the banks, about the addresses, about the telephones, about I don't know what else. He said, just we need about this, and now I bring for you paper, just sign it to me and you will get 500,000 euro. I told him, wow.
$500,000.
$500,000, yeah.
Я спрашиваю еще раз, потому что трудно поверить.
Да. Я спрашиваю, давай, дай мне. He gave me this paper, this letter, it was in Russian, I can't, read Russian. Maybe I understand some Russian, but I can't, read Russian. I told him, please, can I get this letter? I need to translate it before I sign it. I need to know what I sign. He said, it's okay, just something, about Isam and about that he stole from you money, and like this you can get money. I told him, okay, give me this paper, and I will translate it. And tomorrow I can give you this letter back with my signature. He said, okay. I left out, really, I lost, what I will do, what's this, Directly, I called one friend, he was with me in Arab Bank. He was my manager in Arab Bank. We spent together, he's like my brother. His name is Khalil. And he worked with Isam also. I called him, I told him that I want to meet you. I went there and I show you everything, and I show him everything, and I give him, I told him about everything. He said, why you didn't speak with Isam? I told him, actually, I really don't have his number, because when I went from Lebanon, and Isam, went also to London, Really, I didn't call him or he called me, and I changed my telephones and my SIM cards too many times. That's why I told him, okay, call to us. And he called him, you know. And you know, Isam, he know about this letter. They send it to him, you know, by email. Mr. Samir, he sent it to him.
Really?
Yeah. And Isam, he tried to tell me about, this is shame that you speak something not true about me. I told him, really, I didn't say anything. And I didn't make anything at the same time. And what you said, it's not true. What you see, it's not me who made it. Mm-hmm. I just come, these people, they want me to sign this paper, and this paper is in my hand, with no signing, with no signature, you know. And the same day it was, you know, Da Vinci in Lebanon. We met in Da Vinci, and I show him also everything.
Da Vinci — это брат
Yeah,
Исама,
it's a брат Исам. I show him everything, and I told him all the story, you know. And he translated this letter for me, you know. I'm really shocked. What's this, you know? And also there's one thing, you know, they just use, you know, this Samir Dara to bring all the Arabs people who was working in Kazakhstan. For example, me and Mr. Badawi, or one man from his family name, Hassouna. All these people, they just want to push him to sign papers like this, that Isam Hourani and Mr. Rakhat, or Da Vinci, they are bad people, and they was stealing people, and they was making something bad for people, all this, you know.
А вы знаете, кто-то еще подписал такое письмо, или никто не подписал такие письма?
You know, I know some people, they go there, and like me, you know, the Kazakhs, they think the people, they are like sheep. They need money. They can sign any paper just to take money. But also, you know, they must understand. And also they are strange, because this is, I think, too many people, they are Muslim there. They can believe that, even Muslim or Christian, they can believe all this lie. It's not good even for our religion. Yeah. In our meeting with Mr. Dualbayev and Mr. Askar, they speak about the president, Mr. Nazarbayev, like he's like, I don't know, like, you know, I feel that I sit in Iraq, you know, when it was Saddam Hussein. Really. They scare. They scare. From what, I don't know. And even one thing, you know, I spent, you know, about 3-4 years in Kazakhstan. Now when I went there, I saw this huge photos for the president, and they write, it's forever. What's this? You know, I really shocked, you know. So let's go back to our conversation. So in this time, you know, I really went to one place, and I write, because this is not illegal in Lebanon. And of course, they will charge me if I will not say what will happen with me. I make paper that all this story, how it's begin until now, what's happened with me, you know. And I really send it to Mr. Isam Hourani, you know. And I went back to Syria in this time. After, you know, about 1 week, no, before 1 week, before New Year, Mr. Samir Dara, he called me, you know. He said that when you will sign this letter, I told him, it's already with me, sign it. Just send me this address, I will send it to you by DHL. And I start to ask him, Samir, you know, you are close from this Mr. Duwalbayev. What they want? I told him, you are Arabic, Samir. He said, yeah. I told him, I trust you. He said, of course you must trust me. I told him, Samir, this letter, it's not true for what they needed. He said, it's okay, and so just sign this letter. I told him, okay, what I will get? He said, Mr. Karati didn't tell you? I told him, he told me about $500,000, but I didn't believe him. He said, no, you must believe him. I told him, okay, but actually I didn't sign this paper, and I told him that in this time I was going to Moscow to spend New Year with my family there. And also in Moscow, he called me, actually every day he asked me about this letter. And before I come back from Moscow, he called me, he's very nervous. He started to ask me about this letter, which I made it in Lebanon, about stories. I told him, what's this letter? I don't know what's this letter. I just want to know what he wants. He said, this letter, they write letter that what's happened with you and when you come to Kazakhstan and with who you meet and all these details. I told him, so why you are sure that I made it? He said, because all the small details that exist in this letter. I told him, anyway, I was me and you, Mr. Duwalbayev, Mr. Kanat, and one other man, I don't know his name. Maybe one of these people, they work with, maybe was Ihsan Hourani, and they write this letter. He said, we will check, and something like this. I come back to Lebanon, and after I decide, after 2-3 days like this, I decide to come, and I need to meet to Ihsan, told him about all the story face to face, In the airport in Damas, it was about 8 o'clock in the morning. Samir called me. He said, Khudur, are you sure you are not signed this letter? It's not from you? I told him, I'm sure, but you speak about this letter from 1 week. But I don't know what you're speaking about. Can you send me, please, this letter by my email to see